Hey, welcome to the podcast, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, my man?
It's good to have you.
Good to be here.
Man, so catch me up. What's the year 2022 been like for you so far? It's almost been ten years since we've seen each other.
Yeah, man. Right around 10 years since last time actually seeing each other since graduation in 2022, man. I don't know. I enjoyed my or at least the start of 2022 so far. Work has been off to a new job here recently. Ended 2021, starting a new job opportunity. So it's about 6, 7 months into that now. I had a big trip planned. I went to Dubai
Oh, nice.
here recently, probably like two weeks ago. Went over there, hung out, probably about 4 or 5 days. Just wanted to get away. This is my second trip to Dubai, and this time, just wanted to get a different experience than doing more touristy attractions over there. So I had a layover in France. Had an opportunity to go leave the airport, and finally get to see the Eiffel Tower
Mhm.
for the first time. So definitely plan on going back there for a full trip. But yeah, so far so good, I would say, for the year 2022. Um, I'm excited for the summertime. Ever since COVID started in 2020, it's been weird times here socially.
Yeah,
So it's been an adjustment for the whole world. So, but I'm pretty excited for this summer. With things kind of getting back to normal, just a little more
gotcha.
than the past recent 2 years, I would say.
How'd you decide on Dubai?
So yep, one of my best friends, he's in the Navy, and he is stationed in Bahrain on an assignment right now, a temporary assignment, probably roughly 18-month assignment.
Mhm.
And Bahrain is, I believe, a neighboring country of the UAE.
Mhm.
And with it being such a short distance for him, it was just like pretty ideal for us to plan a fellas trip there, at least while he's there. And that's what we did. And the rest is history. It's history now because it happened a few
Yeah,
weeks back, and we had a ball.
that's what's up, man. It's funny. I haven't made it out to the Middle East yet, but I think, like you're saying, being in a new place now, I see we've got a similar background, and
Yeah.
just but also like making a recent trip. I got to go to Belize for the second time
Oh,
last month, and that's
nice.
also a neat place. Kind of getting a chance to do some of the touristy things, but also like even with some of the excursions, getting just
Right.
like a taxi ride and riding with somebody locally. I thought
Right.
that was pretty neat, and just being able to see it like I think the last time was maybe 4 years ago, but being able to one just say, okay, I'm gonna go to some place I've never been before, and now like I'm gonna go with a different group, and they're gonna plan it out and make it like a little bigger, just have a little different of an experience. It's good to
Yeah.
see that you're exploring a different part of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I'll definitely highly encourage the more authentic of the experience when you visit a country, of experiencing it from the eyes of a local, I would say.
Mm,
It's definitely a little more enriching of an experience for me.
that's awesome. I mean, so tell me, I know um, well, here, I'll start here. A question that I always like to ask the guests as they come on is, who do you say you are?
Who do I say I am? Interesting question. Is there a right or wrong answer?
Nope.
Uh, I say I am a continuing work in progress. Uh, uh, I feel like I'm an accomplished individual, uh, but still figuring things out and getting a little more clarity on, uh, my ultimate desires in life. You know what I mean? And what I want to continue to accomplish and strive for. So I would
Gotcha.
say that I am a work in progress still.
I like that. And I know for um, you and myself, we met in college
Yes.
at University of Georgia Tech, but it's like before then, where did you come from? Like, how did things start out for you?
Um, how far back do we want to go?
Mm,
The whole K through 12 experience or
sure,
just
sure.
college?
K through 12 would be
Uh,
good.
K through 12. Let's move it up a little. We'll start with high school. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, high school works.
Yeah.
I'm just messing.
Man, those are yeah, that's historical artifacts right there, man. Yeah, so I grew up in the Metro Atlanta area. Went to a school called Newton County High School. That's where I graduated from.
Mhm.
It's probably about 40 minutes outside of the city, east of the city. And yeah, there I would say I already had a strong interest in knowing that I would probably end up pursuing a civil engineering degree or engineering degree in general, but civil was pretty much in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I already kind of, had had it decided that I wanted to do something where I could kind of, be creative, but also knowing that I had strengths in math and science, want to also go into a field where I could use those strengths. And, you know, engineering just seemed like a great fit for me. Um, I was an athlete in college, high school,
Mhm.
probably was an athlete pretty much my whole life, and football was my number one sport. And in order to continue playing through college, I chose to start my academic and collegiate career at Savannah State University. Uh, um, and fortunately, throughout my or before I started that program, or attending that school, they had I discovered a engineering program to where you could start at Savannah State
Mhm.
and end up transferring to Georgia Institute of Technology, the Savannah campus or the Atlanta campus at the time, to basically finish your engineering degree or get a second degree. It's like a engineering transfer program
Yeah, yeah.
where
I did the
they
same thing.
yeah, it was and I believe it was catered to the smaller schools throughout Georgia to be like feeder school for primarily like minorities to be able to get into Georgia Tech and graduate.
Mhm.
So everybody has like their authentic path into tech. Sometimes is straight out of high school. Sometimes it's the path that I took, and starting out at Savannah State and transferring in. I don't know. Everybody has a very unique story. Um, I don't want to drag mine out, but
You're
in
good.
summary, yeah, I chose Savannah State. Played football there. Again, I continued to try to master my skills academically in math, science, and engineering. And upon the end of my third year there, it was time for me to transfer into Georgia Tech to
Right.
finish up my program, my engineering program. And that's what I did. I chose to go ahead and apply and then get accepted. And I got accepted, and then I transferred in and finished, my last few years of college at Georgia Tech. Pretty enriching experience, I would say.
Was it a
It,
pretty easy decision for you? Like you said, being good at math and science and also playing football, was that like was engineering was just like that natural thing. You're like, I could do that versus like the popular things that other athletes might be pursuing or just other people around where you grew up?
For me, definitely, engineering was just a natural fit for me.
Mm,
I honestly couldn't see myself doing much anything else. I know there's other, top quality degrees, but just with the skills that I had at that
mhm,
point in life or developed at that point in life, I just felt that, engineering and civil in particular was just a natural fit for me.
gotcha.
And I would say to this date, it has proven to be just that. And yeah, man, that experience overall was at Savannah State was, I mean, I had the time of my life, but I also had an enriching cultural experience,
Mhm,
academic experience, and then I got to enjoy, athletics as well for the next few years of my life. I still have a love for athletics to this day, but having to experience that on a college level was definitely very fulfilling for me.
yeah.
So yeah,
If you had to do it again the same way, would you?
I probably would, man. I probably would. I don't have any complaints about the path that I took,
Yeah,
you know, into Georgia Tech and ultimately gaining a civil engineering degree from there.
gotcha.
If I could do it all over again, I probably would take the same route.
I kind of have that same feeling because I went
Yeah.
to what's now Kennesaw, the
Right.
Marietta
Okay.
campus, but
Yeah.
before it was Southern Polytechnical
Hmm.
University, and just being able to come from like a smaller town for me because it was immigrating to the States at 7, going through like elementary school, moving to Georgia in like 2000 to like 2008, then going to school, like going
Yes.
from a small town to like a slightly bigger school and then going to tech really helped. And like it almost felt like the first few years of school were kind of like unlearning some of the like, I don't know if I'd say like bad learning habits or just
Yeah.
like it's like just uh English 101 was one of those classes where I felt like I gained a whole lot more out of 4 semesters of my first college English class than I did of 4 years of like high school, where it's just someone constantly telling you like you should have already learned this, and it's like, no, okay, here's what we're going to teach you. Like here's the way that you can
Yeah.
write, here's the way that you can critically think, express yourself. And like by the time I got to the bigger school, it wasn't so much about like you were expected to know this stuff like you would your senior year of high school, but
Yeah.
like having gone through the school that kind of took the time to do that with the smaller classes where it's not like you get into the big pond and you just like wide-eyed like, oh my god, what's going on here, like where am I supposed to be, what am I supposed to be doing?
Yeah. That that sounds like pretty beneficial for your transition into a
Yeah,
school like Tech, man. You got to come there ready. As you know, you have to come into a school like Tech ready to go and hit the
yeah.
ground running. So
Well,
yeah,
the thing also that I found interesting is like coming from a smaller town was that um what is it? I'm trying to think of how to say this, but like like we talked about with the year 2020 and what how tensions have been in recent years, and just the conversation I've heard people having either from like college campuses or people talk about um quote unquote representation.
yeah,
Like I never thought about things in a way that like the transfer program was a way for minorities to get in. I looked at it as in like, okay, if you're not able to get in through high school, like here's another way to get in once you're through college. But also for me, it was a nice change being able to see other Black people in
yeah,
engineering, or like other Black people finding interest in things. And it kind of did away with a lot of um stereotypes, so to speak,
Yeah,
because it's like
definitely.
the way I talk, if somebody were to hear me over the phone and then they meet me in person, they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't think you were." But then it's like if they heard like the first time I remember meeting you, and it's like meeting you and Maya being paired up in like the LSAT program, and we were in a minority group, but it was like, how was it? We weren't, I don't think we were ever throughout college, whether it was at the smaller college or at tech, I never felt like I was a token per se, or to say,
Yeah,
okay, you're just here for representation. That wasn't a thing to me. Maybe I'm not remembering things right, but it's I found it helpful to meet other people that may have been slightly different, like you just being different from myself, but also like knowing, okay, like just because this person speaks differently or dresses differently, like they're willing to do the work, and not only do the work but excel at it. So like just
right. Yeah.
for me, being able to have like a small, I don't know if it's like a small town mentality or just like being able to go from one place to another and just knowing in my head it's like, yeah, I don't have to believe everything that everyone tells me, but like meeting other people that are either look like me or are more capable than me was a breath of fresh air, where I was like, okay, yeah, like like
Like
to
I,
any, maybe I don't know if you want to if you want to say anything to that.
I don't know. It's just like the feeling of belonging, or the the sense of maybe confidence.
Yeah,
Helps build confidence seeing other uh minorities or other people that look like you
yeah,
with the same desires, but may speak differently. Dress differently, come from various backgrounds. You know what I
mm,
mean? Different dialects. I mean, you name it.
yeah,
But the black and but are still a part of the black and brown community.
yeah,
So, and very highly intelligent,
mm,
and fully capable of excelling in this field.
right,
So that, yeah, seeing being a part of groups like that in college, I would say, or just seeing people like that throughout college was definitely beneficial. you
mm,
know uh Full circle, all the way around for myself. And
yeah.
it sounds the same for you.
Did you ever try to do NSBE?
Yeah, I believe I was a member of NSBE throughout my time. Yeah, Savannah State and Georgia Tech. I did NSBE. I think I was a member for NSBE initially that first year at Tech.
Gotcha.
Uh, that last year, I was just like, all right, let me just focus on school and
Right,
whatnot. But
right.
yeah, I can't say I was a member the last year, but definitely the incoming year, my incoming year of what was that, 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Is
then as you know, I was also the member of LSAMP, so it was
right,
just
right.
trying to juggle a lot of hats there for a while.
Yeah.
So
It's funny because I'd heard of LSAMP, or not LSAMP, but well, of course I heard of LSAMP, joined it at the smaller college and then at Tech, and similar thing, kind of having to pull back. But I think I tried to join NSBE my last semester of college,
yeah,
and I was kind of saddened, but at the same time I kind of reached out because I was like, I want to, you're always encouraged to be more than just a student, to be like multifaceted, to explore your options and just be more than just like another name on a piece of paper for a resume or things
right.
like that. And it always makes me laugh when I remember going to my first NSBE meeting. I walk in and everybody's getting things set up and things like that, and somebody looked over and they're just like, you go here? It's like, we lost one. What's going on? It's like, hey, come over here. And I was like, it's just that it felt very, just very welcoming. and heartfelt, but the similar
Yeah.
thing when you're definitely just trying to wrap things up, it's like, well, I'd like to participate here or go to this conference or go to that, but like sometimes you just gotta buckle down and shut things down, although they may be good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, man, that trying to close out your tenure at tech, man, you gotta have tunnel vision.
Yeah.
So finish strong.
So I mean, how was life for you after tech?
Life for me after college. Man, I've had a extensive career thus far, I would say. It has been, I graduated fall 2013.
Oh yeah,
We are 2022. Yeah, man.
I think we did 2022 or wait, yeah, 23rd.
I graduated fall 13.
I think we both did December, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
December
yeah, same class, same
2013.
class.
Yeah, so yeah, since then, I went on and went into employment with my current, not current employer, but an employer that I had an internship with prior
Mm,
to graduating tech, Norfolk Southern.
mm,
Um, I got an opportunity there as a facility manager um, down at the Atlanta headquarters. That was an interesting experience, being a civil engineer and, initially having desires of wanting to do more like building and design and construction,
mhm,
going into like the operational side of facility, was an interesting experience. It's 365, 24/7, any, oversight of what I particularly wanted to do, or initially wanted to do in college. I wanted to do more so like actually constructing in a building
mhm.
or any type of specific infrastructure, bridges, and I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
So coming to the operational side was a different experience for me, but I thought it was a great opportunity coming out of college. I networked my way around, through my internship, and yeah, I tried that, and ultimately my passions led me back into, like, I would say, project management, more so the project management side of
Mhm.
the construction industry. So yeah, I did that for a year and ended up transitioning into flooring design and construction. So I was a flooring project manager there
Okay.
for a short time before I ultimately transitioned uh, to DC. Yeah, I think after that opportunity, I moved to DC. I was in Atlanta for probably working in the Atlanta area probably for about roughly like 2 years and some change after I graduated college.
Right.
Uh, and I got my biggest opportunity since graduating college in the construction management industry. And that's what led me to Washington, D.C. An opportunity came up and I decided to take it.
Mhm.
And ever since then, I've essentially been working in the field of construction management. I was working for my employer at the time, Here International.
Mhm.
We eventually were acquired by a company called CBRE,
Mhm.
and ended up changing the name to CBRE Erie. So I did that for a number of years, probably about six years, roughly. Yeah, right there at 6 years. And yeah, man, I think I found my niche and my fit in this industry and being a construction manager. I got a lot of experience in building, design, and construction. I worked under some great project managers, learned a lot. Uh, I got a lot of responsibility handed down to me. I was able to attain multiple, renowned certifications, project management professional, certified construction manager, lead AP. Um, yeah, man, I've ever since I moved here and started working in the field of construction management, I've excelled, all the way around in my career. So ultimately, I think I found my niche in construction project management. And yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at in life right now, continuing that down that path
Yeah.
until, some other endeavor may or may not come up. But if not, I truly have a passion for what I do, and it shows. And I'm just continuing to figure out and be a work in progress on ultimately where I want to take my career.
Yeah. What's been some of your favorite things about like just being in construction management, or like what are yeah, what are some of the best things you have to look forward to?
So one of the big things I would say is, working with people. You work with people from various backgrounds, and being a construction manager, you're seen as a leader on a project,
Mhm.
and you have to know how to, you know, talk to the CEO in the office, but also talk to, the carpenter out in the field, on this on their level. So you wear many different hats,
Yeah.
and you have to know how to communicate very well on each level of management, all the way out to the field operations. So um, that is something that I think I have a strong skill in, or have developed a strong skill in. And also, I'm pretty big planner in my personal life. I like planning things out, and you know hoping things go according to plan.
Yeah.
So in construction management, you have to be able to foresee a lot of things that should occur or how they're supposed to occur, and also plan for specific risks that may occur
Mhm.
if things don't go according to the plan. So that aspect of it is pretty big for me. I enjoy that part of it. Um the cost management, I take a strong interest in figuring out all the numbers for a
Mhm.
project. Yeah, man, I think, yeah, those probably might be the big three things I enjoy about my my career thus far. Working with people,
Yeah.
planning things out, and also being financially savvy for being able to manage a budget. I mean, it's other things that I truly enjoy, but I would definitely be um have to summarize it up to those three being my my top things.
That's what's up. So, I mean, with that, have you been able to enjoy your time more so outside of work as much as you do at work?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm definitely one of those guys that likes to work hard, but also play hard.
Mm.
I love to travel, hang out with friends. Um, I'm really into fitness, I would say. I like to ride, my bike, road bike.
Mhm.
I really got into cycling during the pandemic, or throughout the pandemic.
Mm.
Yeah, strength training. I like to run. So I'm kind of like uh I have a lot of fitness um activities that I like to participate in,
Yeah.
social activities. And again, traveling, that's pretty big for me. COVID kind of slowed things down as far as like my international
Mm.
travel interests. So I'm trying to get that back going now, starting this year.
Yeah.
And kicked it off with Dubai. So yeah, outside of work, I definitely make it a priority to truly enjoy some of the things in life that I love to do.
That's what's up, man. I guess I was gonna say, how did you deal with the pandemic kind of as things were going on, and like as things have kind of progressed till now where it's starting to open back up?
Man, I mean, you had to you had to adapt. I believe I did.
Yeah.
I started honestly, it helped me find other interests that I never really thought about. And um I would say like going to the park. I mean, that
Mm.
something as simple as that, like just
Yeah.
going to a park, laying out on a beach towel or something, listening to some music,
Yeah.
and maybe have a glass of wine or a picnic going there. Something as simple as that that you kind of take for granted.
Hmm.
I mean, the pandemic showed us that, especially myself, like those type of activities are very fun and are a truly enriching experience. Um, I started to go on hikes a little more.
Yeah.
Never like been the avid hiker, but I actually enjoy it, because I'm already like, I would say I'm pretty in tune with nature. I love nature. I love being outside. And yeah, that experience of hiking is definitely up there on my list now. Like I love to go on different trails and whatnot. Um, so yeah, I've adapted to, again, I told you I ride a road bike now.
Hmm.
I try to get out there. This year I'm definitely going to get back into it. It's pretty hard to stay consistent with it, but yeah, I definitely got into cycling. So yeah, I just learned how to adapt and experience other things that COVID kind of took away. And me and my friends, I would say, we just learned to socialize. I would say not less, but just in a different manner, at least initially. So
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's like talking to some people. I remember like wanting to do things outside of work. Like I mentioned, starting the podcast was one thing. And then
yeah,
something else I started to look into is maybe like real estate or behavioral coaching,
yeah,
because like psychology was something that I was interested in before. And just I went from like not doing anything after work before, or not being as sociable, to being like extremely sociable. So it's like went just 0 to 100. And then it's like once you kind of realize everything's just stacking up one on top of the other on top of the other, like I went from like recording a whole bunch of podcast episodes the fall of 2019,
yeah,
and then I went to a conference to learn how to do this the DISC assessment that people use in corporate, or just to be able to understand your personality traits. How they say, they split it in like 4 categories or whatnot, but I I learned the highlights of it, and being able to like give this test that you would take normally and give it to somebody else, and being able to coach them through it to say, here's how you would do that, all the while like come January, I'm going to a conference for that, putting out an episode every week or recording, and then going do to a real estate conference all before traveling overseas to work in Puerto Rico. And then
mm.
everything just shuts down. And I was just like, well, I guess this is a good time to just stop everything. But
Yeah,
um, it is interesting, like you said, just being able to appreciate the small things, because it's like when you're not allowed to do something, I guess you either find an alternative for something else you can do, or you could just be like, I'll just play online or something like that, and just
yeah.
watch the time kind of go by.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Interesting, man.
So I mean,
Uh,
how do you like the new spot now?
the new spot.
Yeah, where you're
Uh,
currently at.
oh, yeah, Maryland Environmental Service. I actually truly enjoy it. I'm a senior project manager now, which is a role that I feel like I thrive in, because it puts you in the driver's seat and gives you the ultimate responsibility of a project or multiple projects
Mm.
from conception all the way to closeout. Um, and I went more so from building design and construction to more so being a part of the environmental and civil design industry, or civil engineering and construction industry. So I work more so on industrial facilities such as steam plants, um, water treatment facilities, landfills,
Yeah.
material cycle facilities. So while my experience in the construction industry has been experience in the construction industry has been very beneficial for this transition, because I understand how a project is supposed to be administered, throughout its life cycle.
Right.
And it's pretty much the same, even though I'm in a different industry, I would say more so the environmental services industry.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely enjoy it. It's been a learning curve initially, trying to learn how a landfill is operated
Hmm.
and how it functions. It's like a little city,
Yeah.
something I never would have noticed before. And it's a pretty rare like opportunity. A lot of people are not familiar with landfills and whatnot. So this has been a very I would say a very like what type of experience would I say? Pretty man, I
New
can't
or
think of the word.
eye-opening.
Yeah, basically, yeah, very eye-opening experience for myself. And it definitely keeps you on your toes, man, because you have to continue to uh enhance your technical skills
Mm,
and but those core skills, just knowing how to socialize
mhm.
or communicate with people from various backgrounds is can take you a long way and advance um, your experience in any industry or any job.
True.
You know what I mean? It's invaluable. You know what I mean? Just knowing how to network and continuing to develop yourself to be a very valuable person on the team. So
That's what's up.
yeah, man.
Have you always enjoyed being in a leadership role, like a management type like that? Because
Uh,
I asked that because I like from observing like a boss or someone that's usually in a management role where it's like sometimes you're herding cats or or like you're having to maintain the budget, you're having to keep track of what's going on for the project and just kind of have a foresight at the same time.
yeah,
Is that something you've always enjoyed?
yeah. I do enjoy it. I enjoy being in the driver's seat, wearing many hats, being the ultimate decision maker and leader. Um, I think that's something that I thrive in,
Mm,
uh, just naturally as a person. And I would say being an athlete has helped me to develop, the confidence to take on those type of roles. So though it overlaps, as
mm,
far as like being able to transition to different roles and also just transitioning into the leadership of an organization. Um, so yeah, I truly do enjoy being in that role.
Um, what's your what's your favorite part about like either coming into a new organization or like welcoming someone into like a new group?
Hmm. So coming into a new organization, I mean, you honestly have the biggest opportunity to leave a lasting impression. What is it? First impression is what's the saying about the first impression?
You only make one you can only make one wait,
Yeah, I think we
I'm
both got
messing
it.
it up now.
But no, like I mean, it's just like a clean slate,
Yeah.
I would say, and the opportunities feel like they're limitless initially.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So and you can really coming into a new role is I don't know, it's just very like motivating because it's just like a fresh start, you know what I mean? A reset button.
Yeah.
And you just feel like you have a lot of room for impact within
Mm.
that that situation, um, and bringing on somebody into that situation. Yeah, I've been a part of like several interview panels with my current employers thus
Mhm.
far, and bringing on somebody been on that side of the table is a very interesting thing to experience. So yeah, I would say I enjoyed that part of it too,
Yeah.
because you want to you're able to uh firsthand see people, somebody from a different background, different thought process, different credentials, but you're allowed to evaluate what value they could bring to your
Mm.
organization, and everybody has value, um I would say. And it's just like bringing in somebody you know, with different experience, cultural experiences, you know, uh I don't know, that I would say that's a pretty interesting experience, and I actually enjoy it,
Yeah.
because it allows you to be a part of that team building, and ultimately when they come on and have success, that's the you know, the fulfilling part of it.
Yeah. It's
Since, you
like
know,
a
since some
reflection on
right,
yourself.
yeah, exactly. Like you knew this could happen and they live up to the potential or exceed it.
Mm.
It's pretty fulfilling. So
That's what's up.
yeah.
It's funny when you talk about being on the interview panel. I
Yeah.
remember, I think it might have been my first job right out of college, and we had like a 2-year rotation program where you spend like maybe 4 to 6 months at one office, like a few months on a job site,
Mhm.
some other months in another office, and you rotate around. So the first time I was in like an unofficial engineering office, we went to lunch with someone that was, I don't know if I think he would have been like a new hire. So it's like having, like, you see the person come in and they go through, they sit with like this manager, they tell them about their department, you kind of watch the demeanor. And by the time we take them to lunch, I guess we're there to kind of interact with the person as new hires. And also you have like a new hire, you have someone that's been there a little bit longer, like they're closer to their age, so maybe they can let their guard down and just communicate with you. And it was interesting just going, and I could see at the time I wasn't maybe like in the best headspace, kind of had that like, I'm here to do a job, but I think I remember how to do a job. It's been like a year and a half since I've been out of school. I've been on a
Yeah.
construction site doing some operational stuff, like getting stuff to the site, and been at a fabrication shop doing like administrative work, detective work, trying to track down materials and signatures and personnel if they're there or not. And then you're
Yeah.
back over here remembering how to do basic moment equations. And then you going out to lunch with somebody, and it's like one, like the person didn't seem very interested or enthusiastic about the opportunity. And it's like you kind of, I heard that after like a debrief session, once they the what is it, you get back, and I think the person does the rest of the rounds, but then they bring everybody together that interacted with the person to kind of like
Oh,
give
okay. Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And like as people were giving different criticism, I was almost taking the criticism personally. I was like, oh man, if I have a bad day, am I gonna get the boot or what's gonna happen? But it's like I I think I said that to say it's interesting being on the other side, but at the same time, it almost teaches me then and now not to kind of get caught up in what other people are doing. It's like sometimes if you try and empathize too much, you can kind of miss the point of what it is, like your role, what you're supposed to be doing. It's like
Yeah.
in going out to lunch with this new hire, I almost put myself in the position of being the new hire, but it's like, no, you're here to evaluate them, and there's nothing wrong with being like, okay, this person matches like the mold that we're trying to fit, because otherwise if you can't say they don't match that, then you're gonna bring them in, they do bad, and now you're gonna be looking around being like,
Right.
okay, why did you make this decision? But
Yeah,
ultimately, it wasn't my decision to make.
I got
It's just a interesting experience.
you. Yeah, it is. So,
But did you have any stories like that, or any interesting stories just over the years of running into people either at work that you work with, or like maybe how would you say? Hmm. Well, I guess the short question is, have you had any stories similar to that, or any just fun stories,
uh,
either
for
work or non-work related?
um, what would I say? Yeah, about that. I just started being a part of the interview process for the first time in my career.
Hmm.
So yeah, I haven't had any interesting stories to develop that have developed yet. I'm sure they'll come about. I haven't been much of a recruiter, I would say, for the past companies that I worked for. They
Gotcha.
kind of handle that on their own. I do um I do like the network, within the company, especially with amongst the younger generation,
Hmm.
because people just when they take on other opportunities, I mean, you just never know on your way up the ladder who you're going to meet or come
Right.
back in
Right.
contact with again in the future. So I just like to make sure that I maintain those relationships, I would say,
Hmm.
throughout my generation, the ones that are younger than us, and just the older generation. So yeah, yeah, not many interesting stories like the way you just told. Yeah, just yet. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, true.
Have
It's
a good
funny
one.
that that one just kind of popped into my head because there's like
Yeah.
I don't know, like some things I guess you don't think about it in the moment, and then
Yeah,
it
yeah.
comes back to you later. But I remember like something that's work related, non-work related. I remember like going up, I think this was in around the Chicago area, and just being up there when it was like right at the end of winter time. And I was like, I don't know if I if I want to go up there from Louisiana to Chicago, but um, just getting back into the habit of saying like, okay, let's work out. And even before going up there, like going to a gym outside of college, because like at Tech, you have like that huge
Yeah,
gym,
yeah.
like the facilities there, everything's nice. But then like the first the first month or two right out of school, I went to like my first meathead gym, where like you have people in there grunting and everything, like throwing down the weights. And it's um like that part of it didn't seem to be too bad. It's just every week or every now and then you just had this one guy that was in there, and he would just talk about how he was going to work out, but would almost not work out. He'd like sit in the bench, just be like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and do that." It's like you just sit there on the phone for like 30 minutes, and like
Still
you get,
warming up, huh?
right, right, and then you get the same, not the same person, but um usually it's like you work out, or like you'll work out with a partner, somebody will spot you. But I guess it just been a while, because I didn't play any sports in college, but I played them in high school. I did like weight training in high school.
Yeah,
And when you go and you do you're in the squat rack and you're doing the back squats,
yeah,
and usually somebody would spot you like either on the outside or just underneath the bar.
yeah.
And I guess I went down and I was on my way up, but I guess I wasn't coming up quick enough. And somebody that decided to work in with us just decided to help me up. And I was like, I put the weight up and I just felt like violated. I was like, thanks. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But man, it's good to it's good to appreciate the stories, just the everything that happens in between from here to there, and just you never know what you're going to experience, but it's just a reminder to kind of walk out the door and see what's out there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. I agree with you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what's the rest of the year looking like for you? What's something like you're looking forward to, or like you planning another big trip?
Uh, the rest of the year, it's kind of up in the air. I got my family reunion coming up here next month in June.
Mm.
It's like the next big trip for me. It'll be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Ooh, I remember
Um,
that.
yeah, man. So I got a number of family members there, and we decided to host. They decided to host our biannual family reunion there
Mm.
this time around. So other than that, I mean, I don't believe I have any big trips planned at the moment. California might be a destination of mine later this summer.
Mhm.
Really want to take the summer to really get back to enjoying the DC region again.
Mm.
You know, the pandemic has kind of, come down just a little bit with restrictions and whatnot. So I really want to enjoy the things that um um various activities around the
Yeah,
region here, and just get out and do some different things that I haven't been able to do over the past couple of years. Other than that, yeah, man, I can't say I have anything any major plans this year. Um, just probably planning to put some things together for next year, I would say.
mm,
I mean, we kind of already coming up on half the year now, so
yeah,
I'm just taking it one day at a time, and enjoying life as it comes. Try to enjoy it every single day.
that's what's up.
Yeah, man. What about yourself?
A little bit of that. Really doing. It's funny. I feel like the weekends I just look forward to podcasting like this, catching up a bit. But
Hmm.
I guess that as I lined up a couple to do, I'm doing my best to enjoy it day to day, and not try to plan too much, because it's like I can obsess a little bit,
Hmm.
but really just enjoying this year, and spending time on things I want to do, whether it's recording or like I might need to fix my bike and and just start biking around the neighborhood a little bit, because I keep saying it, but it's like it's either going to be that or order that what do you call it? It's the mobile thing that you put on the back tire to be able to ride your bike inside.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
know. I don't know what that piece of equipment is actually called.
like
I've seen it on Instagram one time.
I
Um,
found one on Amazon, but I was like, won't order it just yet. But
yeah,
I thought I fixed my back tire, and then I tried getting on it, and it just seems like it won't hold any air. But the main thing for me is just like doing some workouts daily and just moving around a bit, because
yeah,
I guess what I was saying about the gym earlier and kind of like now it's like you sit a little bit longer during the winter times, like you put on a bit of weight,
yeah.
like looking in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of work on that, just for myself, just to be comfortable moving around and exploring like this area, actually. It's rainy outside, but I keep thinking about driving out to the city that's maybe like an hour from here. I heard it's
Okay.
it's a good downtown area. So just kind of doing a little bit of, I'd say almost like backyard exploration, like
Yeah.
make the short trip to a city here and there. Like I'm doing it for work, but being able to go into a city casually and just walk around the town, see what's there locally. Um, that's probably how I'm going to be spending the rest of the this year or this month.
Okay. Good deal, man.
Yeah.
Interesting. You so you're not like, I would say local. You're local to Valdosta, but you're not like in close proximity to the downtown area right
Um,
now.
I'm like 20 minutes from the downtown area right now.
Oh, okay. So which city? I
So
guess this
like
is another big city you were talking about. What's the name of this one?
so like this one would be Thomasville. So it's like
Thomasville. Okay, I got
Valdosta is I keep okay, Valdosta is here because
you. Yeah.
my hands are backwards. So Thomasville would be to the left of Valdosta by like an hour. So it's like
Okay.
I've gone downtown to like downtown Valdosta around like December when they had like the Christmas tree and Christmas lights and things like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I may do that again. I um before I came back to Georgia, like I was in the Midwest for 2 years, maybe two and a half. And I decided that I was going to drive around Lake Michigan,
Okay.
basically starting from Chicago, go up through Wisconsin, up through like the Upper Peninsula, and come back down through. I was like, I've seen road trips in movies, so those seem like fun. So I figured I'd give it a try in my old Malibu.
Yeah.
And it started out fun. I was like, I'm gonna sleep in my car. That part wasn't as fun. And like posted up at a rest stop, trying to sleep, with one eye open. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can rest here, but like you forget. I think cars are made for like shorter people. Like if you're like 6 foot and over, like
Yeah.
you're not really gonna sleep too well in a Malibu. But anyways, it was like maybe it's from having driven through like 12 cities over 4 days, and like I would pull up, park, walk around, like you see a shop, you see a post office, you
Yeah.
see like, especially during the summertime, like the water up there is super clean and things like that. And I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. You have people hanging out, fishing. And by the time I got to like the seventh city, I was like, okay, I think I've seen it. And especially since they were all port cities that I was driving to, they're very touristy. And I
Mhm.
was like, I'm not gonna go and like buy something from this store and buy something from that store. I was like, nope, no more tourist traps, because like there was literally an island from the upper peninsula to the lower peninsula where you can, I think you can cross this bridge or you can take a ferry. On the one hand, I think no, okay, it only takes people over. It won't ferry your car, but you basically take the ferry up until the time that it runs. You get on the island and you can ride a bike around, you can explore, but it's like a huge tourist attraction.
Yeah.
And it was really neat. But the alternative of just going one city one weekend out of the month or one city every
Yeah.
other weekend, I think would work much better.
I got you. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. But not to keep you too much longer, uh, are you doing anything online that you want people to be able to connect with you, or like do you,
Say that again at the end.
are you can people contact you or follow you online, or
Uh, sure. I'm not really on Instagram too much
gotcha.
as lately as I've been, but I guess you can find me on LinkedIn.
Gotcha.
Just, you know, type
I
in my
just,
name.
I just realized I asked that question really weird because it's like
Yeah.
you weren't moving for a minute, so I thought it
Oh,
froze. I meant to say let people know where they can find you online if you want to if you want to connect with people either online or offline. But you did say LinkedIn.
yeah. Just type in my name. Got a
Gotcha.
pretty uncommon name, so you should see my face eventually
Gotcha.
on
Well,
LinkedIn.
I don't know if I asked you before, your last name is Kuku.
Yeah.
Where
It's pronounced
is it?
Kuku.
Nigerian or?
Nigerian.
Gotcha.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up. So both your parents or one of your parents?
My father, biological father, is from Nigeria.
Nice.
My mother was born here in America, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah, born and raised in America.
Making a trip to Nigeria.
Yeah. One of these years, eventually. Definitely gonna make that trek, man, to go meet people within my family or outside that have my it's similar, well, my name.
Gotcha.
I heard it's a lot of us over there
That's
in
what's up.
the Lagos region.
Nice. And I'll ask you this question, kind of referring to the question from the start. Are you still who you said you were?
Am I still who I said I was?
Mhm.
So this is a follow-up to the initial question, huh?
Yeah.
I am still a work in progress. Yeah, I am.
I love it. Same here. It's funny, like you mentioned, I'm trying to get comfortable with just giving short, succinct answer and not trying to color around the lines, just trying to be
Yeah.
like, okay, if I say enough words, it'll make it look like I'm doing more than I'm supposed to be doing. But
Yeah.
I
I
like
hear you.
that being a work in progress because I can identify with that in the same way of just trying to do enough day to day to enjoy the day and
Mhm.
not think too far ahead, but also just leaving it open to be like, hey, if there's an opportunity to travel or an opportunity to like enjoy an activity, that could be fun. If you
Yeah.
decide to just bring an extra suitcase to Dubai, I'll just be like, oh hey, can I sneak in there?
Oh man, yeah, good one.
But it'd be nice to see. It'll happen. It'll happen one of these days.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I hear you.
But great catching up with you, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. Really enjoyed talking with you throughout this podcast. A lot of great questions.
Thanks.
Hope I provided some quality responses.
You did.
So, yeah, you
I
did,
think
man.
there's something to be said for that powerful calmness. It's not always like what you say, but what you say is important, but you don't always have to say a lot to make an impact.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like. Yeah, I like that statement.
But I
Very much.
respect you for that and much more. Thank you for the time,
Yeah,
and we'll do it again.
yeah. Sounds good, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Till next time.
Yep.